subscribe to the channel and turn on notifications.
That's just how we roll. You know what it is, what it is. How we roll. You know what it is, what it is. That's just how we roll.
Welcome. And thank you for joining me back with At Home with Goldnbronze. And I am your host, Goldnbronze. I have really been trying to juggle a lot of responsibilities this week, trying to see this beautiful country and take care of some of my responsibilities also. It has been quite a challenge. Let me tell you that. It has really been a challenge to do so, but I'm getting it done. And I almost forgot about the show tonight. So forgive me for being late. That's just because I'm just running, and lost track of time. But just so you know, tonight's show is called Soft Life versus Survival. I have one simple question for you before we get started with this. Again, the topic is called Soft Life versus Survival Mode. I forgot to say that part. And my one question for you is, are you living or are you just getting through day by day? Because there is a difference. Some of us are waking up already behind, already tired, already bracing for what needs to be handled, fixed, paid, or survived. Kind of like what I just told you I've been doing. I have been running, and it seems like when I get up, I'm already behind. So I started thinking, am I living a soft life or am I in survival mode? And others are slowly learning what it means to live with more intention, more ease, more softness without apology. And that's the lane that I want to be in, really. Today, we're going to talk honestly about both states, what survival mode really is, what the soft life actually means, beyond social media, beyond aesthetics, and most importantly, how we begin shifting from one into the other in real practical ways. This is not about judgment. This is about, hold on. Okay, we are at my home. I heard my air fryer go off and I had to run back to it. So as I was saying, this is not about judgment. This is not about perfection, and this is definitely not about pretending life doesn't come with responsibilities. This is about awareness, because once you can name where you are, you can begin to shift where you're going. So let's get into it. Survival mode is not just a phrase, it's a nervous system state. It is what happens when your mind and your body shift into just get through energy phase. The survival mode, life becomes reactive instead of intentional when in that mode. You're not asking, what do I want my life to look like long term? You're asking, what do I need to fix right now so nothing falls apart? And that can look like constant stress running in the background constantly, feeling like there's never enough time, never enough money, and never enough energy, and waking up already mentally overloaded. Have you ever done that? I certainly have. Sometimes I wake up because all night long I've thought about what I have to do today, and when I wake up, I'm already tired and mentally overloaded. I'm, you know, behind when I wake up, handling problems after problem with no recovery time. That's survival mode. Feeling emotionally flat, numb, or overstimulated. Difficulty planning ahead because today is already too much. And these things that I'm talking to you all about, they're things that I feel, things that I experience. I always tell people that I'm like the little ever ready battery that just keeps going and going and going. And then you wind me up, and then I just keep going and going and going. That gets tiresome. And then you start feeling just like it's too much. And here's something important: survival mode, it's not always dramatic. Sometimes it looks like high functioning exhaustion. Now, I say that because people tell me all the time how efficient I am, how high functioning I am. And I am. And those things make me exhausted. Sometimes I just get so much coming at me that I just feel overwhelmed and want to check out emotionally, mentally. It's like it's just too much. But the more you do, the more people expect for you to do. And if you are high functioning, you're going to get it done, but you're going to be exhausted. So who's benefiting from that? You? No. You are still working, still showing up, even though you feel that way, still taking care of others, still smiling in public, but internally you are stretched thin. That's how I feel sometimes. And when people live there long, when they live there long enough, they often start thinking, this is just life. This is just how adulthood feels. This is just what I have to do. It's just what I have to do. That's not the full truth at all. You get that epiphany one day. Survival mode is often not permanent. It is a response to pressure, lack of support, a response to trauma, a response to financial strain, a response to emotional overload, or long periods of stress without enough restoration. It's not your identity. It is a condition, though. And conditions can change. When you stay in survival mode too long, it begins to shape how you think, not just how you feel. You start to prioritize urgency over alignment. You say yes out of fear instead of choice. Delay rest until everything is done, which is never. It's never ever. Everything is never done. You lose touch with joy because it feels optional. You normalize exhaustion. You make decisions based on pressure instead of peace. Even your body starts to adapt to it. You may notice shallow rest, tension in the body. Have you ever, like your back just felt like it was tightening up, you know, from just like, oh, it's tightening? That's tension in the body. You may be irritable or emotionally sensitive. Difficulty slowing down without guilt. You have that when you're in survival mode. And the hardest part is survival mode doesn't always feel wrong. It doesn't feel wrong at all when you're in it. It can feel normal. It can even feel necessary. But underneath, there is usually a quiet longing. Yeah. Where you say, I just want things to feel easier. I just want to breathe. I want people to quit asking me to do things. I just want a break that actually feels like a break, not for a moment, for a season.
And now, on to our program.
That longing matters. It matters because it's often the first signal that you are ready for something different in life. Now let's talk about the soft life. We've talked about the survival mode. Let's talk about the soft life. Because somewhere along the way, it got misunderstood. A soft life is not about being rich, unemployed, or disconnected from responsibility. A soft life is about how you experience your life. It's about reducing unnecessary struggle. It is about choosing peace where chaos used to live. Yep. It's about creating space to breathe inside your own life. A soft life, it can look like setting boundaries without over explaining. You know, people like to cross the boundaries and then get mad at you because you've set them. They think they're a victim of you because you have set boundaries. Well, a soft life can look like setting those boundaries without having to over explain why you did it or why you have that boundary. It can be choosing rest without feeling guilty. It can be simplifying your schedule, not overcommitting your energy. Yeah, all of that is a soft life. It's letting some things be good enough instead of perfect. Surrounding yourself with calmer people and calmer environments. Being intentional about who and what gets your attention. That's a soft life. Most importantly, a soft life is internal. It's a shift from urgency to intention, from reaction to choice, from depletion to sustainability, and from chaos to calm structure. A soft life says, I don't have to suffer to be worthy. I don't have to be overwhelmed to be productive. I don't have to earn rest. And the mindset alone can begin to change everything for you. So let's place them side by side clearly. In survival mode, you're trying to keep up with life. Okay? Like the hamster on the wheel, like I refer to myself, the ever ready battery, the little rabbit, ever ready rabbit is what I meant to say. You know, you're just trying to keep up with life. But in the soft life, you are designing how life feels as you live it. In survival mode, everything feels urgent. In soft life, you learn what is actually important. In survival mode, rest feels like something you have to earn. But in the soft life, rest is part of your maintenance. In survival mode, you react to life. But in the soft life, you participate in life with intention. And here's something very important. You don't have to shame survival mode to desire a soft life. Survival mode is often what helped you endure. The soft life is what helps you expand. One is about endurance, the other is about alignment. I did a show on alignment once. Go back and look at it. Let's be honest though. Many people are not in survival mode because they're doing something wrong. They are there because life has been expensive. Life has had responsibilities have been heavy. Support systems have been limited or zero. They may have been the support system for everybody else, but then you don't find a support system for yourself. Emotional stress has been ongoing and rest has been delayed much too long. And sometimes survival mode becomes inherited behavior. You watched people around you always pushing through, always working, always stressed, always sacrificing rest for responsibility, and always unhappy. So you've learned this is just how life is. But at some point, awareness shows up and says, maybe it doesn't have to feel like this at all. Maybe it doesn't have to feel like this all the time. That awareness is powerful because it creates choices. Shifting out of survival mode is not one big dramatic change. It is a series of small decisions that tell your life. I am no longer available for unnecessary stress. And people will not understand when you have decided that you are no longer available for unnecessary stress. Here are some foundational shifts. Reduce unnecessary noise. Eliminate it if you can. Not everyone deserves your attention, your urgency, or your emotional energy. I remember I had a cousin say to me one day that somebody's emergency was not hers. And I thought when she first said it, that's kind of callous and cold. But I understand now where she's coming from. Your emergency is not my emergency. That's basically what she was saying. You create simple structure. Soft life thrives in order, not chaos, not disguised as busyness. Learn the power of no. One word. Learn to say no and not feel guilty for doing it. No is protection for your own peace. Build rest into your identity, not as a reward, but as maintenance for your body and your mind. Stop glorifying exhaustion. Being tired all the time is not a badge of honor. It's a signal. Choose what aligns, not what pressures you. And ask, is this choice moving me forward? Is it peace or is it moving me towards it? Ask if it's moving you forward towards peace or is it moving you away from it? That's what I meant to say. I said it backwards and I'm so sorry. Slow down where and whenever you can. Even small pauses change your nervous system over time, and it's helpful. It's not about doing everything at once. It's about consistently choosing ease where struggle is optional. If I could leave you with a refrain, of this topic, it would be this. Your life is not supposed to feel like constant in emergency mode, constantly in emergency mode. Productivity does not require depletion. You do not have to deplete yourself to feel like you have been productive. Peace is not something you find after everything is done. Peace is something you build into how you do things. And softness, it's not weakness. Softness is awareness. Softness is having boundaries. Softness is sustainability. And softness is wisdom. So, as we close today's episode, I want to bring you back to the original question that I asked earlier. Are you living or are you just getting through the day by day? And wherever you find yourself right now, whether you are deep in survival mode or already leaning into a softer way of living, there is no judgment here for me because that's exactly what I'm doing. I am transitioning from that survival mode mentality into the soft mode life. I'm leaning into a softer way of living, and I am choosing peace over everything else, no matter who understands that or not. Understand that learning the difference between the two is only awareness, because awareness is the beginning of change. You don't have to transform your entire life overnight, but you can begin to notice, where am I pushing unnecessarily? Where am I overextending myself? And where can I soften just a little bit? And those small shifts, they add up over time. They become a new rhythm, a new way of being, a new way of living. A softer life is not built in one decision. It is not built in 1 minute. It is built in 1,000 small permissions that you give yourself over time. Permission to rest. Permission to slow down. Permission to choose peace. And permission to stop surviving everything. That is what I'm learning to do. That is what you need to learn to do if you have been in a position of survival mode, seeking a softer life. That's exactly my mission. My mission is a softer life and peace. Thank you for spending this time with me. If this is your first time, please subscribe, follow, hit that notification, share, and come back again. And if you are already a follower, please subscribe and hit that notification bell also, so that every time I go live, you will be notified. I want to thank anyone watching for doing so, and please know that subscribing to my channel helps more than you could ever imagine. I appreciate it if you do. And thank you if you did already. A deep, deep thank you from the bottom of my heart. And until the next time, protect your peace, your honor, your energy, and move at a pace that allows you to actually live your life, not just get through it. Take care. I'm Goldnbronze, and I'll see you around the corner. Bye-bye.